And we are following breaking news beginning an early edition of KCAL 9 News. You can see smoke in the air here. This is a plane crash. We've been told this is a small plane that went down in Pacoima, not far from Whiteman Airport. You can see the large amount of smoke coming from the area and a number of fire trucks and fire personnel on the scene. We have only heard that this is a small plane, not exactly sure how small or how many people may have been on board this plane. Again, it is in the San Fernando Valley. This happening just moments ago that this plane went down near Whiteman Airport. We do not know if this plane was trying to come in for a landing or if this plane had just taken off or just coincidentally happens to be near Whiteman Airport in Pacoima. But this is the scene in Pacoima of a small plane that went down just a short time ago. A little before we went on the air, you could see a lot of flames coming from this area. Now we see a lot of smoke in the area and a large fire presence there as crews are still on the scene there trying to put out this fire. We have not heard how many people were on board this plane or if there are any survivors or any casualties in this plane crash. We know that there's clear conditions in the area, lots of sunshine, and we can see that smoke going up in the air, so we do not see a lot of wind in that area. You can see a car on fire here, another one that has been destroyed. This plane went down so close to the homes. It's just on the street right in front of these homes. Certainly a frightening ordeal for anyone that was in the area when this plane came crashing down and then burst into flames. You can see at least 2 cars, possibly 3 that have been damaged by this plane crash. You can see fire personnel on the roof of that home checking, making sure that there's been no damage to the home there, but certainly a large fire presence after this plane has gone down in Pacoima, again near Whiteman Airport. This happening just minutes ago. Crews have been able to respond very quickly and have been able to put this fire out relatively quickly. You can still see some flames there on the back of that car there, and you can see the other car behind it that has just been destroyed by the fire. And unfortunately, that plane is just really a pile of rubble there. It's hard to even make out that it was a plane actually that went down in this area, but certainly a lot of smoke still billowing from this plane crash. We here we can see what appears to be the tail of that plane there, just on the edge of that yard, but really not much of this plane left. That went down just a short time ago in Pacoima near Whiteman Airport, and we are still waiting for word on just what type of plane this was. We've only been told that it is a small plane, and we do not know how many people were on board that plane or whether or not it was either leaving or about to land Whiteman Airport late this morning. But we do know that the conditions were relatively clear out there, not a lot of wind, clear skies, and of course we are continuing to watch this. And for folks that are just joining us at noon, we are following breaking news. A small plane has crashed in Pacoima near Whiteman Airport. We are still waiting on word on what type of plane this was and how many people were on board, but there is a large presence of firefighters that are on the scene. Oh, you can see right in this shot now that we have been able to pan out a little bit just how close to the runway that plane was, but still waiting for word on whether or not it was landing or just taking off. But we all know that those are the most dangerous times, either at takeoff and landing. Those are the most dangerous times for any type of flight travel when you are just taking off or landing. But this is certainly a tough scene because we do not know if there were any survivors on this plane that went down so close to the runway there at Whiteman Airport late this morning. And we watch as fire crews continue to put out any of the flames. We see that there are at least 2 cars that have been damaged by this, really destroyed by this plane crash. And you can see the tail of that plane in the yard there, but still waiting on word of what type of plane it was and who and how many people may have been on board. But